Imagine this. You wake up, the alarm goes off, and before your feet even touch the floor, your phone is in your hand. Notifications, news, emails, noise, and suddenly you're already behind. But what if I told you that the first 30 minutes of your day could set the entire tone for how powerful, calm, and focused you feel? The Stoics knew this. Marcus Aurelius himself began each morning reminding himself of two things: who he wanted to be and what he refused to let control him. And today, I'm going to share with you 10 powerful things you should do every morning. A Stoic morning routine that will transform not just your day, but your entire life. Before we start, hit that like button if you want to bring more calm and control into your mornings. And subscribe to Stoicism Empire so you never miss these lessons that help you master both your mornings and your mind. 1. Wake up with intention. Let me ask you something. When your alarm goes off in the morning, what's the very first thing you do? Be honest. For most people, it's one of two things. They hit snooze or they grab their phone. And in that split second, before they even realize it, they've already surrendered the direction of their day. The Stoics would call that a tragedy. Why? Because mornings set the tone for everything that follows. If the first thing you do is let the world flood your mind with distractions, worries, and noise, how do you expect to live with clarity, discipline, and peace for the rest of the day? Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers and at the same time the Emperor of Rome, had every excuse to wake up stressed, overwhelmed, and pulled in 1,000 directions. Imagine the weight on his shoulders, armies at the borders, political unrest, endless demands from his people. Yet, when he wrote in his meditations, he reminded himself, "At dawn, remember, you rise to do the work of a human being, not a ruler, not a soldier, not a celebrity. A human being." That's powerful because it reminds us that no matter who we are or what pressures we face, the first responsibility we have each morning is to live like a human, with reason, with virtue, with intention. Now here's where it gets practical. When you wake up tomorrow, don't just roll out of bed because your alarm told you to. Instead, take one deliberate pause, just one moment, and ask yourself, why am I waking up today? At first, that question might feel strange, but think about it. Every day you wake up, you're spending one of the most precious currencies you'll ever have, your time. You only get so many mornings in this life. Why waste them on autopilot? I'll share a personal example. There was a time when I used to wake up already stressed. My first thought was about deadlines, bills, obligations. The day felt like a burden before it even began. Maybe you felt that too, like life is something to survive, not to live. But when I started practicing the Stoic principle, something shifted. Instead of asking, what do I have to do today? I asked, what do I get due today? And that one shift in perspective changed everything. Suddenly, making my bed wasn't just a chore, it was an act of discipline. Going to work wasn't just about money. It was a chance to contribute, to serve, to sharpen my skills. Even the small moments, sharing breakfast, walking outside, hearing the morning air, became reminders of the gift of being alive. And that's exactly what the Stoics wanted us to see. Life isn't about waiting for big events to give you meaning. It's about creating meaning in the everyday. Now let me ask you, if you woke up tomorrow with clear intention, how different would your day feel? Imagine walking into work, not just going through the motions, but knowing exactly why you're there. Imagine spending time with family, not distracted, but fully present, because you started your day grounded. Doesn't that sound like the kind of life worth living? And here's the best part. You don't need hours of meditation or a complicated morning routine to do this. All you need is that single powerful question, why am I waking up today? Answer it honestly and let it guide your actions. Before we move on, quick pause. If this first principle is already making you rethink the way you start your mornings, hit that like button. It lets me know these Stoic practices are resonating with you, and it helps spread them to more people who need this wisdom. Because here's the truth, without intention, you'll always feel like life is happening to you. With intention, you realize life is happening for you, and that simple realization is what turns ordinary mornings into extraordinary ones. 2. Breathe before you begin. Let me ask you something. When you wake up in the morning, what's the first thing you do? Be honest. Do you grab your phone and scroll through emails or social media? Do you rush to the kitchen for coffee? Or maybe you jump straight into your to-do list before your mind even has time to catch up with your body. Most of us do exactly that. And here's the problem. When you begin your day this way, you're not really in control. You're reacting. You're letting the outside world dictate your first thoughts, your first emotions, your first decisions. By the time you've had breakfast, you're already on defense, anxious, distracted, and pulled in 100 different directions. The Stoics believed mornings were sacred, not because of rituals or complicated routines, but because of something simple. How you begin determines how you live. Seneca once said, "The greatest blessings of mankind are within us and within our reach." Notice the wisdom in that line. He's reminding us that peace, calm, and clarity aren't found out there, in news feeds, emails, or other people's opinions. They're found right here inside of us. And one of the simplest ways to connect with them is through something you're already doing every moment of your life. Breathing. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Breathing? That's too simple. How can that really make a difference? But here's the truth. It's the simplicity that makes it powerful. Breathing is both automatic and intentional. It's the bridge between your body and your mind. And when you choose to slow it down, even for just a minute, you shift your entire state of being. Here's what I want you to try tomorrow morning. Before you pick up your phone, before your feet even touch the ground, sit up and just breathe. Inhale deeply for 4 seconds. Hold it for another 4. Then exhale slowly for 6. Do this 3 times. That's less than 1 minute of your morning. 1 minute. But that single minute will remind your nervous system that you're not rushing, you're not behind. You are exactly where you need to be. Think about it. How many days have you started in chaos? And how did those days usually unfold? Compare that to the days you started with calm, with presence. Which ones felt lighter? Which ones made you more resilient when challenges showed up? I'd love to hear your answer in the comments, because I guarantee other people here will relate to your experience. Let me share a quick story. There was a time in my life when I treated mornings like a race. Alarm goes off, rush into the shower, grab coffee, open a laptop, and dive straight into work. By 9 a.m., my chest was already tight, my mind already overloaded. I thought I was being productive, but in reality, I was setting myself up to burn out before the day had even begun. Then I came across the Stoic practice of pausing to breathe first. At first, it felt unnecessary, even silly. But after a week of trying it, I noticed something. My mornings felt spacious, not cramped. I felt calmer in traffic. I felt less reactive in conversations. And here's the big one. I started noticing opportunities that I would have missed if I had been rushing. That 1 minute pause wasn't just about breathing. It was about reminding myself that I was in control, not the world around me. And here's the part one don't want you to miss. This is not just about relaxation. This is about building resilience. When you breathe intentionally, You're training yourself to pause before reacting. That pause is the foundation of self-control. And in a world where everyone is quick to react, quick to argue, quick to get offended, that ability to pause makes you stand out. It makes you stronger. So tomorrow, before the noise of the world crashes into you, claim your first victory of the day. 3 breaths. Simple, powerful, transformative. And let me ask you this. Will you try it tomorrow? Or have you already experimented with breathing practices in the morning? If yes, did it change your mood, your focus, your energy? Share it in the comments. Someone might read your story and feel motivated to try it for the first time. Also, if the Stoic practice is resonating with you, don't forget to hit that like button. Not only does it help spread Stoic wisdom to more people, but it also shows me that you value this kind of content and want more of it. And if you're serious about building a calmer, stronger, and more intentional life, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss the next principle. Remember, your breath is always with you. It's your anchor. It's your reminder that peace doesn't come from outside. It begins within. 3. Write a morning journal. Have you ever woken up and felt your mind already spinning out of control? 100 thoughts rushing at you at once. Tasks piling up. Worries knocking on the door before your feet even hit the floor? That's exactly why the Stoics believed in journaling every morning. Marcus Aurelius, one of the most powerful men in history, wrote in his journal every single day. And he didn't write just to record events. He wrote to train his mind, to examine his thoughts, to prepare himself for the challenges ahead. Epictetus, his teacher, instructed students to start each day by reflecting on themselves. Why? Because the act of writing isn't just about word on a page. It's about clearing mental fog and creating space for intention. Imagine this. Instead of letting your mind sprint from one worry to another, you take just 2 minutes each morning to get your thoughts on paper. Start simple. Ask yourself, what do I need to get done today? What could go wrong? And how will I handle it calmly? What's one thing I'm grateful for? These questions might seem small, but they're incredibly powerful. The first question gives you direction. You wake up with a roadmap for the day instead of wandering aimlessly. The second question prepares you mentally for obstacles. Life is unpredictable, and the Stoics knew that the key to resilience isn't avoiding challenges. It's learning to face them with calm and clarity. And the third question, gratitude. It reminds you that even in chaos, there's always something good to hold on to. Here's a story. I used to start my mornings by checking my phone immediately. Emails, messages, news. My mind would explode before breakfast. I felt reactive, stressed, and drained. Then I started journaling every morning. 2 minutes, 3 simple questions. At first, it felt almost too simple to matter. But slowly, the magic happened. My mornings became deliberate. My stress dropped. Decisions felt clearer. And suddenly, small obstacles that would have ruined my day felt manageable. And here's something I want you to try. Grab a notebook, a piece of paper, or even a notes app. Set a timer for 2 minutes. Answer these 3 questions. And just observe what happens. How does your mindset shift? Do you feel calmer, more focused, more ready to tackle the day? Drop your experience in the comments. I genuinely want to know how this works for you. Remember, journaling isn't about being perfect or writing eloquently. Marcus Aurelius wasn't trying to craft masterpieces. He was clearing his mind, examining his intentions, and building resilience. And that's exactly what you're doing when you write your morning journal. Creating clarity, building focus, and giving yourself a mental edge for whatever the day throws at you. And here's a little tip. If you find value in this, hit the like button. It's a small action that reminds you to honor your morning practice and helps others discover this life-changing habit. And if you want more practical Stoic strategies like this, subscribe so you don't miss the next principle in our morning Stoic routine. Start your day with intention. Start your day with clarity. Start your day with a journal. And notice how everything else begins to fall into place. 4. Move your body. When most people think of Stoicism, they picture philosophers quietly writing in journals or contemplating life from marble halls. But the truth is, the Stoics were far from sedentary. Marcus Aurelius, the emperor of Rome, wasn't just making decisions from a palace. He marched with his legions, trained with soldiers, and faced the brutal realities of war. Epictetus, born a slave, emphasized that self-discipline wasn't only mental, it was physical too. They understood something crucial. The mind and body are inseparable. A weak body clouds judgment. A strong body empowers thought. Movement fuels clarity, resilience, and courage. You might be thinking, I don't have an hour for the gym before work. Relax. Stoicism isn't about extremes. It's about conscious action. You don't need a fancy routine or expensive equipment. Simple movement is enough to awaken your body and mind. Stretching your arms, walking a few minutes, doing push-ups, even a short yoga sequence. These small acts carry enormous impact. They remind you that you are alive, capable, and in control. They anchor you in the present, shaking off sleep and inertia, and connecting you with the energy that's always within you. Imagine this. You wake up groggy, stumble to your phone, scroll mindlessly, and hours later, you realize your morning and your energy have vanished. Contrast that with waking up, taking 5 minutes to stretch, breathing deeply, feeling your muscles activate, your heart rate subtly rise. Suddenly, your mind is sharper, your body alive, and you step into your day with purpose. That is the Stoic approach. Small, intentional actions that ripple into clarity, focus, and strength. Here's a practical tip. Combine movement with your breathing routine from earlier. Inhale deeply as you stretch. Exhale as you fold, reach, or move your limbs. Feel the rhythm of your breath and body sync, reinforcing connection between mind and motion. Even 5 minutes can shift your mental state profoundly, preparing you for challenges with calm energy instead of scatter fatigue. And don't just take my word for it. Try it tomorrow. Before your phone, before coffee, just move. Stretch your back. Do 10 push-ups. Walk to a window and soak in the morning light. Feel your body awaken. Notice the difference in your focus, energy, and mood. Share your experience in the comments. I want to hear how this small practice changes your day. Another reason this is so powerful, it's a statement of intention. By choosing movement over inertia, you declare to yourself, I am awake. I am disciplined. I am ready to face whatever comes next. Stoicism isn't passive. It's action grounded in wisdom. And your body is the first instrument for cultivating that wisdom every morning. If this principle resonates with you, hit the like button. It reinforces your commitment and supports the channel. And share this with someone you know who struggles with sluggish mornings. Trust me, even a small nudge like this can transform their entire day. The takeaway is simple but profound. Moving your body isn't just physical exercise. It's a ritual of discipline, presence, and vitality. Each morning you choose to move. You train your mind to be resilient, alert, and intentional. You're not just preparing for the day. You're strengthening yourself for life. 5. Read something worthwhile. Picture this. You wake up groggy, reach for your phone, and the first thing you see is a flood of notifications. Headlines screaming drama, negativity, and urgency. Your mind jolts awake. but not in a good way. Stress spikes, emotions flare, and suddenly, your day is already off course before it even began. The Stoics saw this danger long before screens existed. Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca understood that the first input of your day sets the tone for everything that follows. Instead of consuming noise, they recommended feeding the mind with wisdom, timeless, meaningful, and empowering ideas. Marcus Aurelius famously wrote, "You could leave life right now. Let that determine what you do, say, and think." Imagine starting your day carrying that thought, rather than headlines designed to provoke anxiety. That perspective immediately changes how you interact with the world. Calmer, clearer, and more intentional. This practice doesn't need to take hours. Even 5 minutes can transform your morning. Pick a short passage from a Stoic text, a powerful quote, or even a page from a book that inspires courage, clarity, or gratitude. Let the words sink in. Reflect on them as you sip your morning coffee, stretch, or go for a brief walk. Notice how they quietly shift your mindset, preparing you to face challenges with resilience rather than reaction. Here's a challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, instead of reaching for your phone, open a book by Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, or Epictetus. Read a short passage. Pause. Let it resonate. Ask yourself, how does this wisdom apply to my day today? I'd love to hear your answer. Drop in the comments and let's discuss. The power of this practice lies in intentionality. You are deliberately choosing what enters your mind. You're not passively absorbing whatever the world throws at you. You're cultivating a mental environment that supports focus, composure, and growth. Over time, this becomes a habit that protects your energy, sharpens your judgment, and strengthens your emotional resilience. And here's a little tip. Pair this reading with your journaling and movement routines. Read a passage, reflect on it in your journal, and feel it energize you as you move your body. It creates a seamless cycle of mind-body alignment, a ritual that primes you for a purposeful day. If this resonates, hit the like button. It's a simple way to reinforce your commitment to building a Stoic morning routine. Share this with someone you know who gets caught up in morning chaos. Trust me, this one shift can completely transform their mindset. Remember, what you feed your mind first thing in the morning determines how your day unfolds. Choose wisely, read something worthwhile, and carry that wisdom like armor throughout your day. 6. Embrace cold exposure or small discomforts. Picture this. You wake up, and before you even sip your coffee, you face a deliberate moment of discomfort. It feels strange at first, even a little daunting, but that's exactly the point. The Stoics believe that confronting small hardships daily trains the mind to remain calm, focused, and unshakable when real challenges arise. Seneca, one of the greatest Stoic thinkers, would sometimes sleep on the bare floor, not because he had to, but as a daily exercise in mastering his fears and desires. He asked himself, "Is this what I feared?" Reminding himself that discomfort is often far less threatening than we imagine. You don't need to sleep on the floor to experience the power of voluntary discomfort. Start small but intentionally. Take a cold shower in the morning. Feel that initial shock as the cold water hits your skin. Your body wants to pull back to escape, but your mind has a chance to step in and say, "I control my reactions, not my cravings." That brief moment of resistance is a victory. You've already trained your mind to face adversity calmly and with clarity, setting a strong tone for the rest of the day. Or try small, manageable challenges in everyday life. Skip sugar in your coffee. Walk instead of driving a short distance. Eat a simple, plain breakfast instead of indulgent foods. These tiny acts of voluntary discomfort might seem insignificant, but they're actually powerful exercises in building self-discipline. Each time you choose discomfort over ease, you reinforce a mental muscle, the ability to endure without complaint, to act with intention rather than impulse. The real magic happens over time. Once you make a habit of facing small challenges each morning, life's bigger difficulties lose their grip on you. Stressful situations at work, conflict with others, unexpected setbacks. They no longer control your emotions because you've trained your mind to remain steady even in minor discomfort. You begin to notice something incredible. Your sense of inner strength grows, and you're no longer a passive observer of life. Instead, you actively shape your responses and maintain composure, no matter the external chaos. Here's a challenge for you. Tomorrow morning, step into a moment of deliberate discomfort. Feel the cold water, resist the urge to seek immediate comfort, and observe how your mind responds. You might be surprised how empowering it feels. And I want to know, are you willing to take that challenge? Comment below and tell me what small discomfort you'll face tomorrow morning. Sharing your experiences can inspire others to join you. If this strategy resonates with you, and you're ready to transform your mornings into a training ground for strength and resilience, smash that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who could use a mental boost. Remember, every small act of discipline compounds over time, creating a life where you control your mind, not your cravings. 7. Set your priorities, not just tasks. Picture this. You wake up, stretch, grab your coffee, and immediately feel the pull of your inbox, notifications, and to-do lists. The day begins not with intention, but with reaction. By noon, you realize you've been busy for hours, yet nothing meaningful has moved forward. This is exactly what Epictetus warned us about. If you don't set your own priorities, someone else will. The Stoics understood a simple yet profound truth. Being busy is not the same as being effective. Life constantly throws distractions our way. Urgent emails, trivial errands, social media notifications, all demanding our attention. Without a clear focus, we risk letting every small demand hijack our energy and attention, leaving us exhausted but unfulfilled. That's why starting your morning by defining your priorities is not just a productivity tip. It's a practice in self-mastery. Here's how to do it in a way that actually works. First, take a few quiet minutes each morning before you reach for your phone or start responding to others. Ask yourself, what are the top 1 to 3 things today that will actually move my life forward? These aren't your emails, errands, or minor tasks. Think about actions that align with your long-term goals, your core values, and the kind of person you aspire to be. Write them down. Physically seeing your priorities on paper transforms them from vague intentions into concrete commitments, a personal contract with yourself. The impact of this simple practice is enormous. When you have your top priorities clearly defined, everything else becomes secondary. Distractions lose their grip. You can say no to tasks that don't matter without guilt because you're anchored in purpose. Even minor interruptions feel less stressful because you know exactly what you need to accomplish. This is not just about productivity. It's about reclaiming control over your day, your energy, and ultimately, your life. Think about it. How many times have you ended a day feeling drained, thinking, I was busy all day, but what did I actually accomplish? Setting priorities flips that script. It transforms your day from a series of reactive motions into a sequence of deliberate, intentional actions. Every choice you make, every task you engage with, becomes aligned with your larger purpose. Here's a practical tip to make it stick. Write your top 1 to 3 priorities where you can see them, on a sticky note, a journal, or your phone's lock screen. Throughout the day, use them as a compass. Before saying yes to any new task or request, ask yourself, will this move me closer to my priorities? If the answer is no, let it go. This small, conscious decision-making builds a habit of focus, clarity, and self-discipline. Exactly what the Stoics practiced. Now I want to hear from you. What's your number one priority for tomorrow? Drop it in the comments. Let's inspire each other to live intentionally. And if this idea resonates, hit that like button, subscribe, and share this video with someone who's constantly busy but wants to be effective. Remember, the real power isn't in doing more, it's in doing what truly matters. 8. Visualize challenges ahead. Premeditate to master your day. Imagine this. You step out of bed, the morning light filtering through your window, and already your mind races. What if someone criticizes me today? What if traffic makes me late? What if everything goes wrong at work? Most people react to the day as it unfolds, letting frustrations, anger, or anxiety take control. The Stoics, however, taught us a radically different approach, one that turns uncertainty into a source of strength. This practice is called premeditatio malorum, or the premeditation of evils. It sounds dramatic, but it's deceptively simple. The idea is to mentally rehearse the challenges you might face during the day, the arguments, the delays, the unexpected obstacles, and decide ahead of time how you will respond with calm, reason, and virtue. By doing this, the day no longer surprises you. You're prepared. You're already victorious in your mind before reality even tests you. Here's how you can do it. Take a few quiet moments with your journal or even just in thought. Visualize your day unfolding. Picture a potential argument with a colleague, a stressful traffic jam, or receiving disappointing news. Then ask yourself, how will I respond with clarity, patience, and composure? How can I act in accordance with my principles rather than my emotions? This is powerful because it shifts your mindset. Instead of dreading what might happen, you approach it with readiness. The things that used to provoke frustration or panic now become opportunities to practice self-control and wisdom. You're training your mind to see challenges not as threats, but as arenas for mastery. Think about it. How often are we upset not because of what happens, but because we weren't ready? By visualizing the obstacles ahead, you take away the element of surprise. You step into each situation with calm and presence, turning potential stress into deliberate action. This mental rehearsal builds resilience, patience, and confidence, traits that the Stoics valued above all else. Here's a small tip to make it stick. Spend 3 to 5 minutes each morning imagining possible hurdles. Don't linger in fear. Instead, focus on your response. Picture yourself staying composed, making rational choices, and keeping your inner peace intact. Over time, you'll notice something incredible. Situations that once trigger anxiety barely affect you, because your mind has already rehearsed victory. I want to hear from you. Have you ever mentally prepared for a challenge before it happened? Did it make a difference in how you handled it? Drop your experiences in the comments. Let's learn from each other. And if you find value in this practice, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to Stoicism Empire, and share it with someone who struggles with stress or unexpected challenges. Remember, life will always throw obstacles your way. But with premeditatio malorum, you don't just survive, you thrive. You become someone unshakable, someone who meets difficulties with calm and intentional action. And that, my friend, is the true power of Stoic preparation. 9. Speak with purpose. Let your words shape your day. Imagine this. The first moments after waking up, you're groggy, half in dreamland, and the world is already calling for your attention. Maybe it's your spouse asking about plans, your kids needing guidance, or a coworker texting a question. Most people respond automatically, a grumble here, a complaint there, or maybe even a sarcastic remark. But the Stoics teach us that these early words matter more than we think. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." That wisdom isn't just philosophical, it's practical. Being a good person begins with action, and one of the most immediate actions you take each day is how you speak. Words aren't just sounds, they're building blocks of reality. The first words you speak can shape your mindset, influence others, and set the emotional tone for the hours ahead. Here's the key. In the morning, choose your words deliberately. Instead of letting complaints, frustrations, or negativity escape, try speaking encouragement and positivity. Instead of gossip or criticism, share gratitude or kind intentions. Even a simple, heartfelt good morning or "I appreciate you" can ripple through the day, affecting your mood and the people around you. Think of it like planting seeds. The first words are the seeds of the day. If you sow patience, clarity, and positivity, those qualities grow throughout the day. If you start with irritation or judgment, you cultivate stress, tension, and conflict, not just for yourself, but for everyone you interact with. Here's a practical exercise. Before saying anything, pause for a second. Ask yourself, will this word serve virtue, clarity, and calm? Will it uplift myself or others? If the answer is yes, speak. If not, hold back. This simple habit rewires your communication and gradually transforms how you experience the world. And let's make this interactive. I want to hear from you. What's the first word or phrase you intentionally choose each morning to set your day on the right track? Share it in the comments below. If this advice resonates, hit the like button, subscribe to Stoicism Empire, and share this with someone who could use a morning mindset reset. Remember, your words aren't just fleeting sounds. They're the architect of your day. Speak with purpose, and watch as your life begins to align with the Stoic ideals of wisdom, virtue, and intentional living. 10. End with gratitude and resolve. Before you dive headfirst into the chaos of your day, the emails, the calls, the endless to-dos, pause. Just stop for a moment. Look around you. Feel the air on your skin. Notice the sunlight, the sounds, the simple fact that you are awake, alive, and breathing. This simple pause is more powerful than you might think. It's your first act of conscious living. The Stoics practice this every single day. They reminded themselves that life is fleeting, that every day is a gift, and that it's easy to waste it without even realizing. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste much of it." Imagine starting every morning fully aware of this truth. How would it change the way you speak, think, and move through your day? Now, let's translate this into action. Begin your day with gratitude. Think of at least 3 things you are genuinely thankful for this morning. Maybe it's the warmth of your bed, a loved one, or even a chance to learn and grow today. Let that gratitude wash over you and anchor your mindset. This isn't just a fleeting thought. It's a mental rehearsal for resilience. Next, pair gratitude with resolve. Ask yourself, what will I commit to the day that truly matters? How will I live with intention, courage, and focus? Write it down if you want. Make it tangible. This is not about perfection. It's about direction, clarity, and purpose. When you step out the door or open your laptop, you are no longer reacting to life. You are choosing it consciously and deliberately. And here's a little secret. Ending your morning with this ritual creates momentum. It transforms ordinary mornings into a launch pad for greatness. Challenges that might shake others, you face them with composure. Because your mind is centered, your spirit is anchored, and your purpose is clear. If you've ever tried starting your day without this pause, compare it to the days you do. Do you feel a difference? Let me know in the comments below. It's always fascinating to see how small daily rituals compound into massive changes over time. Finally, if this video has given you value, hit the like button and subscribe for more Stoic wisdom delivered straight to your mornings. Share this with someone who needs a reminder that every day is a gift and that how we start can shape everything that follows. So there you have it, 10 Stoic habits to begin every morning with calm, strength, and clarity. Each one of these practices is more than just a routine. They're small, deliberate actions that set the tone for your entire day and eventually your entire life. Let's quickly recap. Wake up with intention. Start your day knowing why you rise. This is your first act of purpose. Breathe before you begin. Take a pause, center yourself, and claim the morning for your mind and body. Write a morning journal. Clear mental clutter. Define your priorities and reflect on what you're grateful for. Move your body. Stretch, walk, or exercise. Remind yourself that you are alive, capable, and strong. Read something worthwhile. Fill your mind with wisdom instead of distraction. Let the Stoics guide your thoughts. Embrace discomfort. Practice voluntary challenges to strengthen your willpower and resilience. Set your priorities. Focus on what truly matters, not just busy work. Visualize challenges. Anticipate difficulties so they don't surprise or control you. Speak with purpose. Use your words to shape reality, positivity, and connection. And with gratitude. Appreciate your life, your opportunities, and commit to living intentionally. Practice these daily, and you won't just start your mornings differently. You'll start living differently. Imagine carrying calm, focus, and resilience into every interaction, every decision, every moment. That's the power of Stoicism applied consistently. If this video gave you value, hit the like button now. Subscribe to Stoicism Empire and share this with someone who could use more calm and strength in their mornings. It helps the channel grow and spread Stoic wisdom to those who need it most. And before you go, here's a quick heads up. On the screen right now is our next video, where we dive into 5 Stoic ways to handle people who don't respect you. If you've ever been frustrated, ignored, or challenged by others, this is your guide to staying calm, confident, and in control without losing your cool. Click it now and see how Stoic wisdom can transform the way people respond to you. Your mornings can shape your days, and your days can shape your life. Start strong, stay intentional, and I'll see you in the next video.